So let's take a look at what's happening, Pisces. Let's begin at the beginning. The Hangman. Hangman is it's like it's your same life. These things are happening the same way as they always are, but you have chosen a different road of either resolution or the way of looking at things. The best analogy I have is if like you're playing checkers or something and you're the red men through the first half of the game. And in the middle of the game, the board flips around and you're the black men. It's the same game, but the perspective is totally different. And that is what the Hangman is for you, Pisces. So it's the same life, it's the same characters in the play, but now your perspective has shifted. And that looks like something that's been in your awareness for a while, and now it's like trying to make the journey into the change of perspective. You are really looking at life a little differently now. Kind of like some of the things that you wanted to create when you were younger, either you have created them or it's time to let those go and create new things in present time. But the Hangman is also, it's a high card. It's looking at things differently. It's releasing frustrations and kind of incorporating more of a neutral perspective to other people's problems, I would say, and really looking at your own stuff, prioritizing your own stuff, making it more of great importance than back burner things. So your shift actually is intrinsic, which falls right along the line of what's happening with the lunar eclipse. Lunar is internal, solar is external. So all those things that you looked at externally during the last eclipse, that beautiful solar eclipse, if you've done the work, that's what's changing. Your perspective is changing. All the things that you put energy into, you will see gains from that. If you did not change things that needed to be changed, unfortunately, that eclipse comes and creates crisis, so it does change. The eclipses are destiny. That is our soul agreements. That is what we're put here on the planet for. So if you're not on your path, you will be soon. But it looks like you're headed there because your perspective have changed. If you have not already been on that journey, I should say. Many Pisces have jumped on it and made those changes. So they'll reap the benefits and the rewards, the gains from this eclipse because you did the work. And those of you that kind of ignored stuff, those stuff will be that issue that you have been working on that is not in line with your karmic growth. Those will pop up to be resolved or be destroyed in crisis because that is not where you're supposed to be. What crosses you is the Five of Wands. And this looks like there's been a little bit of tumultuousness with communication. Maybe there hasn't been clarity. Sometimes, when we say it's a nice day, people hear the sky is blue. It's different. It's not what you said. It is the essence of what you said. But it looks like there are some misunderstandings that have bringing a little bit of tension within interpersonal relationships. Could be work related, but it directly is affected with what you are supposed to change. So that is why the communication isn't as clear as you'd like it to be. But realize there is some static. Find your patience, maybe step back from the situation. If it doesn't involve you, completely step out of it. Let the owners of the issue resolve it. But if it is your static communication, either with a loved one, a boss, interpersonal relationship of some kind, just take a step back because it kind of feels like a no-win situation. But it looks like the person that is not hearing you is a little bit lower level emotionally, is not as high emotionally or as mature emotionally as you are, Pisces. So find your neutrality, take a step back and make those changes for you. Prioritize for you. It's a continuation of what was happening last month. You really making yourself a priority. Kind of upset the apple cart, it feels like here. but, you know, a supportive, loving family, spouse, friends, they will encourage you to make those changes. They will encourage you to fly high and not be, so anyone that kind of creates a weight around you, and is trying to prevent you from flying into your greatness, take a step back from them. And it looks like it's time to make some decisions whether certain people in your life are healthy for you or not. And you're right on the precipice of releasing some relationship. Looks like some pretty important relationships that really haven't been working for a while, whether it's a marriage, a friendship, a boss, co-worker, but there is a shift. So just take a step back from the chaos a little bit so you can make your decision from a wise place, one of self-preservation, one where you are your priority. Okay, moving along, you have what is above you. And this is the Nine of Swords. It is upside down. And when it is right side up, this looks like things kind of fill in your head, problems that won't allow you to sleep, or standing in the way of like your nutrition, your creature comforts, things that are on your mind that are really preventing you from moving forward. They're creating worry. A lot of times it affects your stomach, your sleep, but this is upside down. So it looks like you really have made a decision to be neutral to some things and make those decisions that better your life for you. I wouldn't say codepending or enabling, but for some of you it is. It looks like you have decided to stop a certain behavior that was not benefiting you and was not benefiting the person that you were doing the behavior for. So it looks like a cycle was going round and round, and you decided to put your foot down in the middle of the crazy and say, no more. No more Jello for me, Mom, kind of thing. Push yourself away. And that looks like it has begun, that you're starting to make some separations. You're sleeping a little bit better. Your stomach is a little bit better, but it looks like things were really tied up in knots for the last month or so, the past month or so. But it looks like some decisions have been made, at least in your mind. I'm not sure if you have put them into play on the earth plane, but it's not renting so much time in your head. It looks like you have a little more clarity on what your next step is and what that's going to look like. So putting it into motion, The Knight of Cups, you've also got a King of Wands here, a Page of Cups. So you've got some people in here with some opinions on what's going on in your life. Some for the more positive, others for the more negative. The Knight of Cups, you know, the Knight is a noble person. The Knight is somebody that comes in and saves the day. Cups is a water sign. That's Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. And Knights, this could be a man or a woman. I don't like to assign gender to my cards since we're so gender fluid in our society these days. But the Nine of Cups is really taking the high road. You know, if somebody's cutting low, cups are emotions. So you may feel a lot of emotions with this change, with this shift, with this communication, or pulling back from the situation. But really take the high road. If somebody is using cutting words, somebody is not being in integrity with you, it's time for you to look at your morals and you stay high if they go low. So that's kind of what's happened. It looks like it's in the past position. So it looks like you're not buying into the game as much as you have been in the past. It looks like you were really wrapped up in the success of others. But as you're making your separations from those and really allowing them to fly or fall at their own accord, you're finding a little bit more independence. And it's time for you to really look at what you want to do, where your happiness lies. You've always had morals and integrity, and you're really going more towards that as people fall around you or name call or manipulate, or all the negative fear-based reactions to things. They're not quite affecting you as much because you have a little more clarity on your own journey and you're not quite entangled in their success or failure. So Knight's just kind of being noble, marching through, holding your moral integrity, even if those around you fall. And you don't have to clean up anybody else's mess but your own. So, King of Wands, that's also exalted stuff. I'm feeling this is a person. Wands are fire. That's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is, I'm feeling this is more male in nature. This feels like a friendship, an advisor, a wise one, someone that has been in and out of your life, but never really, has not been a negative, even when they weren't in your life. But it's someone who comes and goes for whatever reason, but it looks like you're reconnecting with this fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It's feeling really more Leo-like than anything. But this is somebody that has a really good idea of who you are, the essence of who you are, gives great advice, has really no pony in that race. There's no benefit or betrayal to him for helping you at all. So he has no reason to gain anything by advising you illy, is what I mean. So it's a confidant and someone you can trust. Can be either a mentor or father figure type person or father. But it's someone that you're confiding in more recently that actually is putting things in perspective for you. And they're coming at things from a different perspective, 180 perspective than you. So it gives you a little bit more clarity on movement in the future for yourself. What is in the future card is the 8 of Cups. This is emotions, and this is exactly what it depicts. It looks like you're walking away from something that either brought you great pleasure, or you had great expectations in the outcome, or but has not fulfilled you through the years. And this looks like something that's been in your life for a very long time that you've tried to resolve. Could be a marriage, could be a friendship, could be a job, a house, but it's something that you're going to have to walk away from, and you're really ready to do so. You're ready to walk away from the jive. It's been like repeatedly in your face for quite a while, and you're, quite frankly, you're really tired of cleaning up other people's messes. And I think you have paid your dues, and it's time to walk away with what dignity you have. There is some anger around this and frustration, but it also feels like somebody very self-serving has been pulling on you and pulling on your heartstrings and kind of manipulating you. I see this picture of almost like a puppet in a play that you didn't really sign up for when you made this agreement with this person. It does feel relationship space, so marriage, partnership, friendship, could even be a boss, but it's something that you had expectations of being one way, and it has been exactly the opposite. And it looks like it has not changed. It's gotten worse. So it's really time to preserve yourself, time to preserve your heart space, your mind, take care of your body. It looks like some things are coming out physically for some of you as you repress or have repressed over the years. This may even affect you in your back or in your neck, or it feels like your support system. So your back may be affected as this energy is being thrown at you more and more and more. I'm noticing in general you have a lot of cups and you have a lot of wands. So there's emotions and motion involved in February for you Pisces. What is the basis of all this is the Page of Cups. This can stand for messages. It can stand for children. These are water signs: Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. But it does feel like either you received a message or you're getting a message from someone, either from the past, or it will clarify what you need to do for your next step. It feels like something was revealed. A truth that you had no idea was revealed either through this message or from this younger person. And it has kind of put things in perspective and clarity for you, how you want to shape your future. But because of kind of this tidbit of information, it's really shifted your whole perspective into the hangman position. It's like, okay, what have I been banging my head against the wall for and trying to change if this person is being a little hinky? I feel like there's some lying and manipulation around the situation, and that discovery will change it all. Absolutely change it all. But either something has been revealed or will be revealed very shortly that will help you in your decision. The next card, Hopes and Desires, is the 10 of Cups upside down. This is the happy family card. So there may be a little bit of crisis coming into family if we ignore what we have to change. In our family dynamics, Spirit comes along and goes, no, you're not supposed to be on this path. So we're going to explode this in front of all the neighbors, and then you will be propelled forward. So change will happen, whether you want it to or not. So I suggest Pisces take that first step into making you a priority, make those changes. Otherwise, these eclipses are just going to make it happen before you. And I actually can follow big events in my life through eclipses. I was having trouble with a husband during one eclipse. By the lunar eclipse, months later, we were done. And then I met my next husband just shortly after that eclipse. So births, changes in marital status, marriages, divorces, changing of jobs, promotions. You can actually track it through the ecliptical system. And it pretty much shows us historically, all the changes that we have had in our life. And if we resist that change, those eclipses, they're coming anyway. They're going to, bang on your door of change. So that's kind of what has happened. There are some things that have been ignored within the family. I really feel that it has to do with codependency, enablement, and really making some changes, pulling your power back, Pisces, giving it to yourself and making those changes for you and the betterment and the bliss for you. You have tried to make everybody's dreams come true but your own. So there does look like some energy in the past here that you want to revisit. You want to reconnect with someone or something. I think that's part of the messages here. I'm feeling like it may be a reconnection, an apology, just putting your toe in the water to see what this relationship could be like or what it has evolved, this friendship, this possible lover. So there is really a chance and an opportunity for you to make those changes that you've always wanted to. So I suggest you jump on it, Pisces. Looks like you have begun doing it with the first beautiful solar eclipse that hit us a couple of months ago. And so this is the gains. This is the rewards. This is the benefits of making those changes. So changes in the air. Please jump on that bus of change before it runs over you. But what's coming up too is it looks like those changes for the better of you may not sit well with someone you've been codependent, someone you've been taking care of for years and years and years, or really, wiping butts for too long is what I like to call it. And Pisces, you're so maternal and so loving that it doesn't surprise me that it's time to make those changes. And when you do make those changes, those people that you've been enabling, codepending, in, under the guise of helping. When you pull back your energy, there's frustration, there's anger, there's discord. So don't be surprised if some of that hits you in the very beginning as you really find your boundaries and you really find what works for you. And what works for you looks like it may not work for the rest of the family. So finding the balance, finding the compromise, doing the negotiations, that is what's coming up for you in February. But it looks like you almost feel cornered in a certain situation and you're just about to break free. So be patient with yourself, say those important words, set the boundaries, and be very clear about them. It doesn't necessarily have to mean just because it benefits you, it doesn't benefit somebody else. But it's really important for you to make those make you a priority. So it's a little bit more of the same from last month. Make you a priority. Set those boundaries. The final culmination is the Eight of Wands. That's movement, fire movement. The 8 is like shooting down ideas from the sky. So looks like things that have been in the back of your head are moving to the front of your head. Is this an art project? Is this moving somewhere? Is this retiring? Doing that project you've always wanted to do, but kind of put it off till later. Well, later is here. So now is the time to do things that make you very blissful. Could be working in the garden. I know water signs love to dig their hands in the dirt for the most part, watch things grow. So it could be redoing the yard. It could be finding a new yard, a new house, a new neighborhood. But there is some shift and some movement and motion that you're embracing, some projects that you kind of put off while you were looking at other people's needs. Now it's time to look at your needs. The Fool is here on the other side of this. And for the most part, the Fool can mean, don't make the same mistakes twice. Don't jump in and do the same behaviors over and over. But it also can mean take a leap of faith. Try something different. If you found happiness on this road but stopped that road a long time ago, revisit that. Revisit that road and see, take a leap of faith and don't be afraid to look foolish. It's your life and no one else's.